Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. Today I am going to talk to you guys about my progress that I've been making with doing my clothes decluttering. So I mentioned at the beginning of this month that I was hoping to spend the next 5 or 6 weeks really decluttering our attic, and not just the attic but other areas of the house too. And I was going to kind of follow the method of the book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, or Kondo, I'm not sure how you say it. Anyways, I really liked the concept that she shared in there of tidying or decluttering by category rather than by room, and that made a lot of sense to me. This is something that we've done just in our daily cleaning up. I'm gonna scoot back here a little bit. Anyways, just our daily cleaning up chores. The kids and I sometimes we just do different little games sometimes. My goodness. Having some difficulties here. My little note thing fell down. I got the fan on and it just blew it right off. Anyways, not that you care, just what happened. So sometimes we'll try little games to make it a little more fun to clean. And one of the things that we like to do sometimes is to clean it by category. So I'll say to the kids, okay, first we're gonna pick up anything that's garbage and we throw that all away, and then now let's find anything that's dirty dishes and we put all that away, and then anything that's made of fabric, so socks that are laying around or blankets that need folded, and whatever coats that need hung up, that kind of stuff. And then anything that's a toy or anything that's made of paper or books or whatever. And it just makes it fun because, especially like when we have a party and the whole house is a disaster, which happens fairly regularly because we have a lot of parties at our house, it can be overwhelming to look around and be like, I don't even know where to start. And even just saying we're going to do one room, sometimes like, well, where do I begin? So the idea of going by category gives you an immediate focus. I really like that, and that's what is sort of different about the Marie Kondo or the KonMari method, is that she has you focusing on categories of items, and the first item you're supposed to go through is clothes. And if you've been watching my videos at all, you'll know that I've already kind of got a handle on our daily clothes. So I'll put a link at the end to some videos of just my other clothing organization videos that I've done, so you can kind of get a feel for what I mean by that. But I had a ton of stuff up in the attic that had not been dealt with, and there were a couple more areas down here in the regular part of the house that I wanted to deal with too. So up in the attic I had I spent probably 4 hours on one day just pulling everything out of the attic and sorting through it all. And then on my second day, this was not a consecutive day, it was several days later, I spent about an hour on my next area, which was all the kids' play clothes and dress-up clothes, like costumes and things. And then another hour or so on a third day on the dresser in Tom's and my bedroom, because even though I had dealt with the socks and underwear drawer, there was a drawer full of work clothes, like the kind for doing dirty work out in the yard kind of stuff, and then the drawer where we keep all of the jeans and pajama pants and my extra denim skirts. So I dealt with that on a third session for about an hour. So I spent a total of about 6 hours cleaning or decluttering clothes. And some of you are wondering more of the thought process of what I was thinking. So that's what I want to share with you before I show you kind of the vlog stuff that I took while I was actually doing the decluttering. So I've got my notes here of things that I wanted to talk about. One of the things that I personally have struggled with, so I don't know if this will help you, but for me, I always want to be prepared. So there's this idea in my mind that I want to save things because I might need them in the future. And that has become a real issue because I don't have that much space. And one of the ideas that I've been really trying to take into my heart is the idea of understanding the difference between harvesting and between hoarding. And there's a parable that Jesus tells about the rich man who had all this grain and he wasn't willing to sell the grain. Instead of selling it, all the surplus that he had, he built bigger barns so that he could keep it. And then God said, you know, you fool, because he wasn't willing to sell or to share, you know, sharing wasn't just giving it away, but not even willing to sell it, that his life was going to be required of him. And it was not a positive thing for him to hoard what he didn't need. And yet, on the other hand, in House of the Wise are stores of choice food and oil. That's what Proverbs says. So what is the difference, I guess, is what I had to debate in my own mind between being someone who's, you know, putting up the harvest and being the person who's hoarding the harvest. And I guess to me it's the difference between, with the harvest, there's the cycle of life that happens, and you bring things in, you know that it's going to be a certain amount of time before you get more. You know, the crops only come in once a year, and so you need to make what you have last until the next time. But the next time is coming. It's just understanding the cycle, the flow of life, and adjusting that accordingly so that you don't consume everything at once before you get more. The hoarder isn't necessarily thinking about the cycle of life. They are thinking about, it's like a never-ending expanding thing, that I need this because I might need it. There's not a clear picture in their mind of when or for what reason they're going to need it. It's just, I possibly could need it in the future, and so I'm going to just take in, and I'm not going to let it flow back out again. And that's not, obviously from the parable, that's not the attitude that we should be having. Everything in life is an intake and then an outflow. It comes in and goes out. I mean, if a river is going into a lake, if the lake doesn't have an outlet, it's just going to overflow. I mean, it's going to force itself to have an outlet. It can't, you can't just keep it all in. Bad things happen. This stuff explodes. Things die if there's not a flow. And that's how our life should be. We things come to us, and maybe God sent them to us not for us, but because of where he wanted it to go next, that we're supposed to pass it on to somebody else. And I think that it's hard, especially when we're constantly bombarded with all this stuff in the news, which is a bunch of garbage in my opinion, but we're constantly being told there's not enough, collapse is coming, all these terrible things. And so it makes us feel like this fear that I'm not going to have enough in the future. So then we want to hang on to it, and that's totally the opposite reaction we should have, because the person who's able to do with very little is going to be fine. It's the people who feel like they can't live without having, you know, all this stuff, and then they take on debt because they want to buy more than what they have the money for even. They're the people that would be harmed in that sort of a situation. People who have learned to live on little are going to do just fine. And so practicing that now is, to me, the best plan. So I guess what I'm thinking is that I had to internalize, and I'm still internalizing, the idea that there's always going to be more. If God provided it for me in the past, he will provide it in the future if I need it again. And I shouldn't keep things just in case. It's a different thing when I know that I have a clear picture in my mind of when this item will be used. I am not a person who cares to have yard sales and make money off of it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just is more effort, and I don't want to do that. So I would rather just donate them and get rid of them. When I have had yard sales, I don't price anything. I just put it all out there and say, you can take it. And if you feel like you need to pay for it, that's fine. Get whatever you want. But I just don't feel the need to try to make money off of it. I also don't have any guilt about throwing things in the garbage, even perfectly usable things, if it is going to be a big hassle to try to donate it. And here's my way of thinking on that idea. Suspending the idea that, everyone tells us that the earth is, you know, polluted, it's going to fill up with trash. We have this book that showed a picture of the earth, and it was just like mounded up with garbage all over, and it was comical to me, because that's not possible. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. Everything that's here is going to be here forever and ever. It will take on a different form, and that's the cycle of life. That's how it works. When we throw something in the garbage, and it goes to the dump or it goes to be incinerated or whatever, it doesn't cease to exist. It goes back to its elements, and some things are going to happen a lot faster than other things, and there might be pockets where it's really dirty and messy, just like in your house, but that's not encompassing the entire earth. It's just that little spot. And so I had to stop thinking that there's something wrong with throwing things away. It's when something ceases to be useful. Let's say I open up, cheese, for instance, and I unwrap the cheese, and now I have this plastic wrapper. That plastic wrapper was a perfectly useful item, but I no longer need it. It served its purpose in my life, and I can freely throw it away without any qualms. And the same for something else that's not traditionally thought of as trash. If I have a shirt and I don't need it anymore and I keep it, I'm basically keeping trash, is my way of thinking. And it's okay if I can't get it easily back into the cycle where somebody else could use it. I am still recycling it by throwing it away, because it's still going to go back to the earth. I'm just giving it back to the earth. It's going to turn back into its elements, and some future generation is still going to benefit from that item. And the thing is it's inevitable. Every single thing that exists on this earth, including my body, is going to at some point be put back into the ground, go back to its elements that it was. No matter what I personally do with it right now, that is the inevitable thing that's going to happen. And so one of the things I've had to be thinking to myself is everything that's in my house right now is going to go out again at some point. It's going to be garbage at some point. So I might as well be in control of that right now. And just like a tree, every year a tree grows all these beautiful leaves, and then at the end of their time they fall off, even though they're perfectly good leaves, and they go back to the earth. It's just the cycle of it. So I had to accept in my mind that that is the natural cycle of things, that things come in and things go back out, and I have to have no guilt over letting that happen. It's not beneficial to anyone to stifle that flow of life. Anyway, so when I'm talking now about particular things that I chose to keep in the attic, before I ever went up there, I thought to myself, what is it that I'm wanting to save for later, that I have a clear picture in my mind of what I want, and I know that I don't know when the next wedding or funeral or whatever is going to come, but I know it's inevitable that there will be one, so I wanted to make sure that we had dress clothes for everyone to wear, so that's something I wanted to keep. It's inevitable that the kids are going to grow in and out of their snow pants and things like that, and they're still in good shape, so I wanted to keep all the snow clothes. I had denim shorts, a huge collection of denim shorts up there that I kept 2 in every size, because it's inevitable that someone will grow into those sizes. And I did keep a few baby clothes, but not very many. Stuff that I knew if we have another baby I would actually use. But I don't like to keep a lot, because I really enjoy, when I have a new baby, getting to go shopping and buy special things just for that baby. So I don't really care to keep a lot of stuff baby wise. I can't remember if there's anything else I wanted to share about this whole clothes decluttering thing. I was happy I got Marie Kondo's next book while I was doing the decluttering, called Spark Joy, and I read that this last week or so while I was doing some of this work. So that was very nice to read, and I was inspired to fold all the jeans in our dresser the way that she showed, and I was so excited for Tom to come home and see how nice the drawer looked. Oh, one thing that she mentioned in here that I really liked, which there's a lot of things she said that I liked. I don't like marking up my books, so I put sticky notes in them while I read next to things that I want to remember, and then I kind of do a book report when I'm done. I go through and I look at them and I type up stuff that I thought about that I want to remember for later. Anyways, one of the things she said was that she says storage should be 90% full, and I never heard anybody say that before, but it made a lot of sense to me, because when I did my sock and underwear drawer and I made all the compartments and everything was just fit in there just nice, it feels so abundant and full and makes me not want to shop for more, because I have just enough in there. And that's kind of what her concept was. Like, you don't want to have shelves or drawers that have big empty spaces in them. You want them to be full. So to rearrange things so that they're quite full, but you can see everything and it's not like, you know, jammed in there, but just nicely folded and it's filled up. So when I was doing our dresser, the work clothes drawer was nice and full, but when I got to the drawer with all the jeans and the pajama pants, I had 1/3 of it empty, and I thought, okay, I need to do something different. So I took the work jeans out of the work pant or the work drawer and put them up with the other jeans, so that drawer looks nice and full. And then I had an empty space down in the other drawer, so I got Tom's shoes that he uses for when he has to do messy work, and I went ahead and put those in the work drawer so that everything was nice and full. And I really liked that idea of thinking like, let's perfectly, not perfectly, but just let's fill the drawer so that it feels abundant and we're not tempted to keep buying more stuff and cramming more stuff into it because of the empty space. So that was something that you'll get to see here at the end. So now I'm going to show you just kind of what it looked like as I went through this process. And then the next video on this topic is going to be on decluttering books. That was her second step in tidying your house. Now that I'm up here starting to pull stuff out for the kids to haul down for me, I'm feeling super excited because I see so much stuff that I want to get rid of. It's going to be awesome when I'm done in here. Okay, so far my progress is that's ready to donate. That bag over there is ready to donate. These things have not been gone through yet. These two things I need to think about for a little bit. I might put that in the closet for Claudia. This was a dress that my mom bought for Eden before she died, and so I'm feeling like maybe I want to keep it. Shh, Sophia. This is Thomas's shirt from his last year in Boy Scouts, and I think I'm just going to take all the patches off and then donate the shirt. This I wanted to show you because I thought it was funny. I picked this little purple t-shirt up and I saw it said 5T, and I was like, what the heck? That doesn't make any sense at all. Look at it, it's like the size of my hand. And I remembered, oh yeah, that was from when I couldn't find a purple shirt for one of the kids, and I took a bigger one and I sewed it into this little tiny baby size t-shirt, and I thought it was cute. It's going to go in the donation bag, but I thought it was cute. Over here is, I had already decided ahead of time what types of things I'm going to keep. So I've got piles that still need to be sorted through. So these are all shorts right here, and I have some more down there. Obviously, I've got plenty of shorts, so I decided that I will keep 2 pairs per size and donate the rest. These are all dress clothes for the boys, so I have dress pants, dress shirts. I decided to get rid of any other colors besides white, and then I will go through here and get one in each size to keep. Why is the light doing that? I'm not sure why it's all getting yellow all of a sudden. Anyways, then I got a big pile of ties and belts here that need to be looked at. This is all snow pants and snow boots, so I'll just keep one in every size and donate the rest. Under here, it turned out that wasn't clothes. This is birth stuff, so I'm not sure if I'll sort that right now or if I will put that back in the attic for now. This was all stuff that I want to make sure that I had 2 together, like 2 boots in a bag, so that they didn't get separated while I was, or when I donate them.
It's supper time, Mom.
Supper time.
Yeah.
one last thing I forgot. This is a pile of dress shoes and socks.
That's a pile of pants too.
That is. It's a big pile of pants. So I'm going to make sure I have one pair in each size and a pair of black socks to go with it. So I'm going to tuck the socks right into one of the shoes so that when we need to dress up for something, I will know that there's black socks to go with all the black shoes, and then we'll donate the rest. Okay, today we are going to sort through all of our dress-up clothes. So we've been keeping these in the girls' room under the crib. We have these old drawers that have wheels on the bottom, and we have boy stuff. Solly, we had boy stuff in here, girl stuff in here, and then we found this box up in the attic. So we're going to sort through these things today and hopefully get everything that we want to keep in the drawers and put away.
Mom, is this for boys?
Yeah, well, anyone can wear it, but we put it in the boy drawer.
Am I supposed so that I can show people wearing it?
Yeah, you can wear it, but not right now. Right now, we're going to sort everything, okay?
But this is a pipe bomb. That's broken.
Is that your purse that you got when we went to the arcade?
Yeah.